which that thou hast commanded by servant of the prophets, saying, land which you go to possesses in unclean land with the filthiness of the people of the land, with their abominations which have filled from end to end with their uncleanness, jumping forward. And this is about the book of Ezra. I like to turn to things and learn from it. So it's these 3 lines, ending with 13. And after all that is come upon us for our evil deeds and our great trespass, seeing that thou art God hast punished us less than our iniquities, deserve, and hath given us such deliverance as this, a state of grace. This is a 200-year-old, 200 to 300-year-old rosary owned by monks. Notice what's on my finger. You guys like the movie Age of Ultron? Pay attention. Y'all like Thor, right? Alright. I'm a medicine up, and I'm going to talk to you for a second. And I want to get the controversial flag and to pull my anti-racism thing out. It says no racism on the outside. By my soul. Spirit. And I used to hold on my lion's tooth, but now I ghettoed up. Y'all be laughing. It'll be in my book. So look, I want to talk to you about some stuff that is real simple, right? I was listening to this kid rock and roll about the world and about the creation and the possibilities, man, and the things that like we've gone through. That's my mom, right there. All right, and the expression of love, and then I was talking about the breakdown in community. All right, this is what I want to get to. Okay, step away from God, step away from all the religions, step back into basic community, basic love, basic who we are as a people. And I took it back to 1983, and I'm talking to this young guy over in a smoke shop and picking up some tobacco, and they got new designer there anyways. And I'm talking to him, and I said, dude, 1983, all the black people and all the white people suddenly went wham, because Michael Jackson did moving on across the stage. And everybody in the world started breakdancing. All the black people, and black people didn't go to the beach. It's a joke, but it's the truth. You know, Michael Pryor said, Rich Pryor said, Michael Pryor. What? Y'all gonna say something? What? Look, 1983, man, we were out there breakdancing. I wasn't, but the black people were. And I did some of my own because I was half black and half white. But I grew up in a white household. I really had to learn how to be black later after they beat my head in and told me I was black. I still didn't figure it out. And I'm still like, look, I ain't nobody's boy, right? But that's not where we're going. We're going 1983, man. Here they are. And on every corner down on the boardwalk in Ocean City, there were black people and brothers, and they're out there doing their breakdancing on cardboard, and some were real good, and some had crowds, and some didn't, and it was suddenly, bam, our cultures went like that. Just wham! 1983. It was beautiful, man. And I was talking about, if you know what I'm talking about, beating on the furniture, man. 1983, Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. Dude, taking it back to the very beginning of the rap spin, man. Alright? And I'm watching all, and yeah, Mr. Man said, why they always beating on the furniture? All the brothers beat. And I was over in like the math, like Catholic high school, right? So we had things going on, right? And we had like 1/3 brothers, and there was hard brothers, and they were like, right? And that's when it all started. And see, this is where I come in as the unusual character. Okay, I'm mulatto, but I grew up in a white household during the 70s, white community right next to black communities, and went to school with black children all the time, and there was always black kids around, but they just weren't right next to my social group. So I grew up white, my family was white, I'm adopted, and so on and so forth, 45 cousins, dad's side. What I'm saying to you is I began this very unusual perspective between color, racism, ethnicity of the different cultures. It's so beautiful, and people need to remember that and say, that's so black. Be like, yeah, that's right. Black is beautiful, man. That's so white, redneck. Yeah, white is beautiful. Redneck, man, he got some sun on his neck. My uncle been in the field for years. So what I'm saying is, I'm a hick just like you. I'm ghetto just like you. I'm learning just like you. I went through 7 years of college, and I don't stop thinking about things. So I talk about things like social entropy, big words, which is a huge word. Social entropy is like the actual establishment of concepts and the movement of this concept through the generation and the ideas of the time period as it continues to evolve and what it becomes at the end. And what you started in 1983 was about a beautiful breakthrough. And I would go down to the projects, and because I had to go score the weed, because nobody else who was like, in the beginning my white buddies could go down with me, but not at the end of the summer of 84. But in 83, spring, and then summer down there. Yeah, in 84, go down there. This is what happened, man. Crack cocaine hit everybody. When we talk about it, man, they rap about it, man, but it really rocked everybody. What it did was it took this community, I'm telling this young guy this because he can't see it. Took this community that we used to have on the bus in our neighborhood, outside our doors, sitting on the stoops, men talking, the women, the children outside, everything open so everybody knew what everybody was doing. And it was the first line of the defense against social breakdown. They broke that line. They forced us inside 1984 because crack cocaine made the brothers crazy, nigga crazy. That's what it did. All right, my buddy says, look, you want something done, just give something to a crack nigga and ask him, and it'd be done in no time. And he's from Baltimore. I seen it hard, right? And it's sickening. In truth, what it's done to the community, and then you have the whole rap ghetto. And we all can go into what the little parts, but the big part is acceptable losses, what the government allowed to happen, what we saw, what cops. How did cops come on the air in September when the drug war started in August? Really, the drugs didn't hit until July, the crack, and it wasn't really rocking until August. So bad, so the cops were down there and the weed guy was hiding. It was $10 for half as much. And the crack guy was hiding his stuff in the trash. And it was everything, and cops everywhere. If you were white and went down this road, I told this story, you get pulled over. Look, man, bam, suddenly we're attacking the minorities, the races, suddenly the prison rate goes out of control. It was already pretty wild here in America, and then it went buck wild, right? No honor, no rhyme or reason, money, control, power. And then we hear stories like the movie The Counselor, and stuff. All that stuff is real, man. You know, it's reality of the horror that's out there. And the reality of the goodness in us is that we have to recognize this. So that means I've gone way, bam! I went past race so far right there. Do you see? I went so far past race and brought it back to the human standard. Because everywhere, man, there are people who are just poor, who just aren't, they're just not cohesed together. I was reading this story from this biker brother down in Peru. Much love, my brothers. Travis Mordrum. All right. And it was talking about this brother who had left the group, and this man came to see him, and he took a coal out of the fire, and the fire went down. Then he put the coal back in the fire, and the fire relit. And he said, look, when you take one coal out, the whole fire dissipates. And when you put that coal back in, they took us all apart, and all our fire's gone. So we need to come back together, and we need to do it by community gathering. We can do it by Facebook. We can do it by like finding a certain area in our city and getting together and flying out flyers and saying, we're going to create like they have Whiteaker neighborhood here. We could break Springfield up into Thurston, Lower Springfield, Upper Springfield, Gateway area. Talk about community issues. we can reestablish that way, because we're so scared to come out of our houses right now because we don't know what's out there. And it's a real reality. Sometimes I'll be like, do I need to go out of the house with a bazooka today, or do I need to go out of the house with bazooka bubblegum? And one of my favorite lines, I'm all out of bubblegum. Da-da-da. But anyways, look, man, the social entropy of it is we'd allowed this sickness to get to the point where we're having psychos kill mass people. Right? Young men. Kip Kinkle, my friend, was the guy who grabbed the gun from him, not the one who tackled him, the wrestler. Now we just had this killing down at UCC, and I could imagine if it happened at my college, Lane. And then we had the killing. And I mean, we get in times where, like, what man is going to kill 23 children other than a psycho who's so, like, you know, he should have been psychopath long, he's like been a serial killer, or just snapped. That sounds like Manchurian. I don't trust a lot of this stuff, and I just look at the horror of the whole thing and say, what is the answer? The answer, because my professor always said, look, if you don't bring up a problem, which is the huge mass social entropy of the whole, forget about the gun thing, talk about why people are getting killed. Everybody used to have guns, but they left them at home. They didn't go outside and shoot each other. They go outside and put dukes up. You know, maybe get thrown in jail for a night. Yelled at by the judge. Yelled at by the wives, by the friends. But now we got, you know, it's like, hey, you know, okay, we can all be hard. Bam! Look at me wrong. I don't know if you got a gun, whatever, you know. That's DC. Like, oh, you know, hit men for 12 years old for $50 on the news. Telling me I killed the news lady for $50. You ain't nobody. Down here in the hood. Well, when you have 2/3 of the gang members that are recorded in Washington, D.C. area back in 1990, you're looking at something. You're looking at where I came from. You're looking at a whole change of, like, a community. And it's like Washington, D.C. is here, and, like, here's PG and it all black all the way down and in here to Suitland, Alexandria, and then it's still black over here, but then the mixing starts. And it starts to become a beautiful mix through here of white and black, all the way around to here with all these different races, and then it becomes real white in this area with a lot of money. It's the truth. And then you have DC, which used to be Chocolate City, but now is all mixed, and, you know, it's changed a lot. And then you have a lot of the new races that have moved in. My father's told me, I haven't been home for a while, so, you know, I'm working off past memory and a little bit of what he's told me, so I don't want to get too into the whole parameters. But I want to talk about the way the lines were. This was my home, Tacoma Park, the railroad, and Carroll Avenue, because PG was here. Now Langley Park was over here. Projects were over here. That's where I had to go, right? This was all started being black. This all started being white. There was a line drawn. And, you know, Maryland was a slave state, but they decided to not succeed. And they're also late in deciding to end slavery. But, like Oregon, who said, slavery? We just don't want free black people here. We don't want slavery. We just know free black people. They're afraid of, this is what my professor said, afraid of breeding with Indians taking over. Yeah, I can understand the primal thing there, but you know, you guys can be happier more about it Afro-American here, because you got some great Afro-Americans here, not like Roscoe Lee Brown and others who, you know, we've got like the Olympic medalists and athletes, and yeah, so just don't be happy every time you win a medal with an Afro-American. Be happy when one creates a song, man, Tech Nine, or be happy when one creates a book, or one just comes to your community and wants to make it better. Somebody who comes forward with an idea, I might have called it peace up, but it's peace up. It's what you think it is. You read it, you decide. All right, a lot of it is not to you, so you have to look at the part that's to you, because part of it's to a very select group. And that was my way of reaching a group of people who I know had certain honors and certain codes. Excuse me, gentlemen. I implore upon you to think that a lines that we were being fed and being told is that your generation can fix all the generations ours made. And you notice I ain't got no rug on my head, right? I could use a little hair right there, plugs. No, this is me. Know what I mean? Broke as could be. Coming up, proud. Proud that I'm poor, proud that I got this to give. Proud that I have the gifts that I give. That I that humbly come before you with this idea and say, we can change everything. A dream can change everything. A few people who put forth the task of creating something huge because they must do it in themselves can change everything. If some multi-billionaire said, I am going to make myself a solar panel the size of 1/16 of New Mexico and put it out in different parts of the desert, and I'm going to go ahead and run the electric for California. And let's take care of Vegas while we're at it. They need lights, right? No, I'm serious. That's how strong solar power is. But we have these barons that have been running things for a long time, all the way since the 30s. And you know how we went to war because two of these aristocrats in World War I got in an argument. Millions of people died. Stalin decided to like not feed a whole bunch of people. 10,000 people died a day. I counted it up in his numbers. I'm like, dang, you beat Hitler in a year. I'm like, and so I look at like acceptable losses, the atrocities, the violence of the 20th century, the ending of the violence of the 20th century, and how do we go forward into the 21st century, and how do we find ourselves as Americans again? Because we pretty, I need to put my flag like, like, oops, things ain't okay, but we're gonna fix it, USA, because I got peace up on the way. Look, what I'm saying, man, is with the inspiration of a man who taught himself to walk, standing here, fighting having spasms, wishing I had a drink of some dry. I think every talker gets that. And imploring to you, with my new camera and my new thought, and with my new mind, that there is an answer. There's an answer to the social sickness. The answer is everything I talked about. Not just here, but how do we mold the youth lines? How do we make a difference in our community? How do we be bold? How do we be bold upon ourselves? How do we be like this? Know what I mean? And from handicapped to, I'm powerful and strong, and yet I'm still handicapped. Yet I still fight. What do I care about? I care about my fight, but I care about something else that's even deeper and stronger within inside of me. And I want to get that out to you. So I want to get through this conversation. I got jokes. Look, man, I'm going to represent. When you got love in your heart and you want something, and maybe everybody's not going to see it when you begin, but as the pieces fall together, it becomes obvious. It was there all along, and that's what everybody's doing already. We just need to call it something and get focused and do it together. Come out of our boxes. Be bold. Don't put up with. Don't stand on the sideline. Don't punk out. And punking out isn't like running from a fight. That's fucking smart shit. Unless there's a child that needs help or somebody needs help. Or, unless, there's a point a man needs to defend his honor. But besides that, it's like you can represent by putting your life on the line in so many ways that means something. When I rolled down the bus, because somebody cut us off, and I'm handicapped, I'm tumbling. I saw the baby flying through the air in the baby carriage because the mom hand just slipped for a second as the bus slammed. And I grabbed the baby carriage. So I dove across the bus. And it's like the essence of the moment, man. The essence of the moment, man. What are you going to do? Are you going to go, oh, I'm hurt on the bus floor? You're going to reach out and grab that baby. What are you going to do? Are you going to represent? Represent, man. Soldier up. Soldier up with love. I might have lost my dog tags, but, you know, I still got my heart. I still got something in here that's like talks to me, you know. There's Thor written outside my church that I wrote, the lightning bolt on. So many things have happened in that field around that property. It's all in my book, but like multiple murder attempts and craziness. And I was thinking, angry at the Lord. I want to go over there with a sledge and break that cement right across the Thor. Then a Thor storm came in and I felt it blowing. Felt things, and things came back upon me, and I felt me again, myself again. Like after a really good walk across the Vales, if you guys know what I mean. When you come back home and everything's set right. And I went in and you know, made them cinnamon rolls because he said, you gave blood unto me, you gave sweat unto me, and tears unto me, and do not be afeared of the people who think they're better or worse than you. Just be of love, man. I went to church, and out there, the pavement was cracked. Above Thor, like a big lightning bolt. The only crack in all of the brand new cement that was laid. I haven't been to church, and then I come back, and there's a big crack. Peace up, man. We can do this. Do I make a short version? Much love.